in the first half. Except for turnovers and time of possession, they're almost as close as a score.
It's not really an outstanding offensive statistics that we're looking at. The main thing is the 2 turnovers by the Browns. The Oilers have gotten field position both times, and were it not for the fake field goal touchdown, the Browns would be down 10-3.
Now, we still have a half to go, but we might as well bring it up now that we'll go back. There's a great hand. Doug Dingle with great hand.
Oh, shucks, Coach, it was nothing.
Now he won a jersey with an 8 on it and a different helmet because he can see better, right?
And the tight wide receiver gloves that they wear. And
there have been 13 overtime games this year, which ties the record set in 1980. And I just mentioned that as a passing comment.
It's a possibility. Field goal kickers being such a big part of the game. 2 teams here that really don't have explosive type offenses are not going to score real quickly. That's always a possibility.
All right. Let's talk about the conditions here in Cleveland Stadium. Although it is warmed up a bit, it is still on the cool side. Swirling winds, particularly from the right side or the open end of the stadium. Now, Cleveland kicking off to Houston, which means that for Cleveland, in the 4th quarter, they will have the wind from their back. And also, if they need a late field goal attempt, it's better to kick at the left end or the closed end of the stadium. Something else to file away. Now, how important for Houston to get off to a strong start here in the second half?
Well, that's very true what you mentioned. In fact, I think Sam Rutigliano earlier in the season chose to kick off in the 3rd quarter so you'd have the win in the 4th quarter.
That's right.
So it's very important that the Houston Oilers do something with the ball in this 3rd quarter while they have the win.
Matt Baer kicking off with Roaches and Brown deep.
That may have been the worst kick I've ever seen.
I wonder if we have a replay to show you how bad that kickoff really was. John Libretto, we have a new director breaking him in, and he's going to be directing in the 3rd quarter. Bob Levy, of course, our normal director, doing an outstanding job as always. Now, watch this ball take off.
Kicking into the wind. I know he wanted to keep it down, do a little squib kick. Number 9, Matt Baer, shanks it to the right.
I have a golf swing very similar to that shot. Right now we'll do it from the 30-yard line. It is fielded at the 19 by Steve Brown. Brown to the 35, to the 40. And he returns to the 49-yard line. Hanford Dixon makes the tackle, and Houston opens up the second half with outstanding field position at the Cleveland 49-yard line.
Earlier in the game, we saw Brown fumble the opening kickoff, knock it around, lose some yardage. This is what Coach Chuck Studley wants him to do. Get his feet upfield, get his shoulders upfield, and go for it. Good field position for the Houston Oilers. Special teams coming in again.
32 yards on the return. Larry Moriarty is the remaining back. And Moriarty gets the call. And he goes to the 44-yard line, gain of 5, second down 5. Tom Cousineau makes the tackle. Outstanding audio crew. We're picking up a lot of, in addition to the sights, but the sounds of this.
Love to hear that. I love to hear it. Makes me want to go back out there and play.
No, it really doesn't. No, it really doesn't. A lot of our crew out of Chicago. A pleasure to work with them again, as we did with the Chicago Bears-Denver Bronco game. Second down and 5. Interesting, if you heard the call of Nielsen, Moriarty picking up the first down, and for Dixon, he is really putting long pauses on his snap count.
Well, the reason he's doing this on the first hut is the signal for the wide receiver. Maybe we can run that back again. We'll see if we can catch the first hut. The wide receiver goes in motion.
The delay in the hut. Going deep. Touchdown, Houston, Mike Renfro. His second of the ball game. And that was a great pass by Nielsen.
Great pass. They suckered in the weak safety, Whitwell, Mike Whitwell, with a little play-action fake. Got Renfro over the top for a big play and a touchdown.
49-yard drive, 3 plays, 38 yards on the touchdown.
We'll see the end of it. Number 21, Whitwell, is beaten. That play was called from the press box. Kay Dalton, the offensive coordinator, saw something during the week. He felt like in that area of the field they could get it open, and they did. Good execution.
Kemp for the extra point. It is no good. He misses it to the left. In a game that is unfolding as this one is, that can come back to haunt the Oilers.
It sure can. Kept missing a short field goal last week's ball game. Here we'll take another look at the touchdown. Hanford-Dixon, 29, beaten. Houston very much in this ball game. We'll be right back.
OJ, you sure they're going to have that reservation? The tournament starts in 3 hours.
Arnie, Hertz comes through for thousands of people every day.
What if the car isn't there?
Arnie, Hertz has hundreds of thousands of cars. Relax.
What if something goes wrong with the car?
Hertz doesn't leave people stranded, Arnie. What are you worried about?
Oh, you're right, OJ. There wasn't anything to worry about.
I'm afraid there's a few things, Arnie.
What's that?
There's Watson. There's Trevino.
I got you.
Hertz, the #1 way to rent a car.
He's only 3, and already he's reaching out, seeking, and looking to you to point the way. Now is when a Texas Instruments home computer can give him a real head start. With more educational cartridges than any other computer, they challenge, encourage, make learning fun. The home computer from Texas Instruments. Don't put it off.
For Mike Renfro, the Houston Oilers, his first ever 2-touchdown game. Green and Walker set to return the kickoff of Florian Kemp. Boyce Gray to the 10, to the 20, to the 30. So Cleveland now from their own 30-yard line, first down. Steve Brown with a tackle for the Houston Oilers. Call it the 31-yard line. Officials will spot it at that point. 49 yards, 3 plays. Minute 39, 38-yard touchdown pass to Renfro. All of the Oilers scoring set up by their special teams. Interception and an outstanding kickoff return of 32 yards by Steve Brown. McDonald opens up throwing, swing, left flat, Green. And the Cleveland Browns counter with a first down. A gain of 12 yards to the 43-yard line in their own territory. Robert Brazil with a tackle. I'm impressed by number 30, Boyce Green.
Boyce Green is a fine player, 11th round draft choice. I'm surprised if they knew what they know, if they knew at the draft time what they know now, they would have drafted him a lot higher. I like the play selection coming out, starting off the second half. A little option screen. He could have threw the ball downfield or jumped it out in the flat. Get him moving, get some confidence going.
First down, Cleveland. Boyce Green.
Look out.
First down, 40, 35 out of bounds. He's at it again, an 11th round draft choice from Carson Newman. Carter Hartwig with the tackle, the most fans that he's ever played in front of prior to joining the Browns was 5,000. He picked up 22 yards on this play.
Good blocking, straight man-to-man blocking. There wasn't anything fancy about that except the run. Carter Hartwig, 36, drives him out of bounds. I'll tell you one thing. I've never seen a guy come in this low thought of at the draft time and do so well. We had him 2 weeks ago against Pittsburgh, did the same thing.
Houston, 35-yard line, first down. Quick start. Here he is again. Another first down. Leading at the 20-yard line. Boy, He comes down to the blocks like he's shot out of a cannon.
You got to give some credit to the offensive line, though. There's some nice holes there, and he is getting to the hole when it's there. Here we'll take another look at it. See the blocking, straight man-to-man blocking. Great job by Jackson. Little influence block, Charlie. Blocks the defensive lineman to the left. The defensive lineman thinks the run is going to go that way, and the running back goes to the right. The defensive men are fought to resist pressure.
Bostic and Hartwig with the last tackle. Tip, and still caught at the 15-yard line by Harry Holt. Flag is down. Prior to this play, Cleveland started the drive on their own 31. First down to the 43, first down to the Houston 35, and then the last one, 15 yards, first down to the 20.
There is no foul on the defense. The pass was tipped. Second down.
It'll be 2nd and 5.
Charlie, what Markwright, the referee, Jerry Markwright, meant by that is if the ball is deflected, then the defensive men can hit the offensive man before the ball gets there.
Right.
Exactly what happened on that occasion.
Once the ball is touched by the defense, there cannot be any pass interference. So it's 2nd and 5. In zone, drop. Oh my, Harry Holt. Bostic had the coverage. He did have him beat. Now it's 3rd down, 5 at the 15. What happened to Boy Screen? I mean, you had to give him a breather, but why didn't you keep going with it?
Well, take a look at this replay. Holt was open in the end zone. I think McDonald was a little late in getting the ball. You got to feel if Newsom was in there, he'd make this catch. Newsom out off and on with that sore thumb, jammed thumb earlier in the ball game. McDonald, I feel, is looking at his receivers a little bit too long and not throwing the ball quick enough. When he does throw it, there's a lot of linebackers around him.
3rd down.
Here it comes.
This will be encroachment. No, they're going to call. No. It's against the Browns. False start. Once from tackle to tackle, you get set 3 or 4 points in. You can't move. Oh, they're going to call it on the quarterback. And my partner, Bob Greasy, was one. I mean, you were a specialist at doing this, pulling the defense off sides and not getting caught at the same time.
That was not the problem here. The problem here was McDonald saw the blitz coming.
False start, number 16, offense.
No, I take that back. He bobbed his head. That's exactly what he did. Bobbed his head, drew the defensive nose tackle. Let's take a look at it and see if we can see it.
Ryan Socha is the man across the line.
No, I was back a little bit further before that, but he did bob his head. We used to do that every now and then, Charlie. Then they put a rule in so you can't bob your head, so you do it with your voice inflection and your cadence with the pause between the 2 snap counts.
3rd down, 10 to White Walker in the backfield as a receiver. In zone, incomplete. Bobby Jones. He stumbled a bit just inside the 5. Couldn't quite get there. Carter Hartwig had the coverage, taking a breather against the bank below the end zone stand. But I do want to go back. It's like beating a dead horse. But Boyce Green got you to the 15-yard line, and then we didn't see him anymore.
Well, that's true, Charlie, but the plays are called not by the quarterback, but by Larry Weaver up in the press box. He obviously felt that throwing in that area, and he did. He had Harry Holt open for the touchdown.
From 36 yards out, it is good. Matt Barr from 36 yards away, and Cleveland has 13 points. Houston has 16, and the 16 leads. We'll be back.
Lee Iacocca asked his engineers to build a sports car. Make it fast. Give it turbo power. 0 to 50, Chrysler Laser XE beats Camaro Z28. Make it handle. Front-wheel drive Laser beats Toyota Supra in the slalom. Make it luxurious. Rich Mark Cross leathers are available. Back it with a 5-year, 50,000-mile protection plan and make it affordable. We did. Chrysler Laser XE. The competition is good. We had to be better.
It's Halloween, so set your spirit free. Turn it loose tonight. Ooh, it's like, turn it loose tonight. Don't hold back, turn it loose tonight. Boys, fear when you're moving around.
Walter Sr., Teo Bobby, and Mario Andretti battle for the kart driving championship in the final race of the season, the Kart Phoenix 150. Then Body Language will tell you when these bodies talk, you better listen. Only on NBC Sports World.
11:13 left to go in the third. Steve Brown and Carl Roches set for the return of Matt Barr's kickoff. We'll mention again that all of Houston's scoring has been set up by the defense of the special teams, giving them the field position for that opportunity. Low squib type kick taken to 35-yard line by number 89. That's Mike McCluskey, the tight end, the backup tight end. And he returns it to about the 46-yard line. Al Gross with the tackle. McCluskey, a rookie out of Penn State. And we've got an injury, so we'll have an injury timeout right now. 11:06 left to go in the third. Oilers lead it by 3, 16-13. We'll be back in a moment to Cleveland Stadium.
A $390 one-way drop-off charge? Nobody mentioned it.
I'm sorry.
We're sorry.
So sorry.
So sorry.
Please accept my apology.
Only National guarantees one-way rentals with unlimited free mileage for only $10 a day more than our regular low rates. Guaranteed. And if we don't deliver, you'll get $50 off your next rental. We give you national attention, and that's the truth.
Systems like the 5200. With ColecoVision, you only need one system because ColecoVision expands to give you a Super Action controller set with Super Action baseball, a driving module with turbo, and only ColecoVision expands to become Atom, the complete family computer system. Plus, you get $150 in vacation saving certificates. $150 good for any 7-day vacation package if you buy ColecoVision now. Sorry, Atari.
He watched his father come up through the ranks smoking, and his father's dream became his. A dream becomes reality when Marvis Frazier battles undefeated champion Larry Holmes for the heavyweight championship of the world. Friday night, November 25th on NBC Sports.
A few moments ago, McDonald was trying to hit Harry Holt in the end zone. And it's a catchable ball. The hand may have bothered his vision, but when this happened to you with a receiver, do you talk to him on the sideline? Do you ignore him?
I gave him silence. They drop a pass on me, I wouldn't even talk to him.
No, what do you do?
As long as I know that they're trying. You know, everybody's going to drop one now and then. He'll come back and catch the next one for you.
If you come back and throw to him again immediately, a lot of quarterbacks do that.
As soon as you can.
Build his confidence back up.
Exactly.
Here's Moriarty. And he is out of bounds near the Cleveland 45. So it'll be second down and 1, a gain of 9. Dixon is the man who was there for the Cleveland defense. Larry Moriarty from Notre Dame, a rookie taken in the 5th round, is 227 yards rushing prior to this game. A couple of touchdowns, 3 receptions for 31 yards. He's not a bad-looking runner.
He's played a lot this year for the Oilers, and they say he's got good speed. He's been a very good player. Didn't play any in the first half, getting his chance right now.
And in case you joined us late, Earl Campbell with that thigh groin combination injury, not playing in this game. It'll play action. Quick screen is dropped by Tim Smith. Now, here's the same situation. I mean, and Tim Smith is the leading receiver for the Houston Oilers, so you're not going to say anything to him, right?
Well, you may encourage him. You say, that's all right, catch the next one, something like that. But everybody's going to drop. The air is human. The nose of the ball was down there. It was not a very good throw by Nielsen at all. It's a very tough ball to catch with the nose down. It was wobbling. It wasn't easy to catch. So maybe Smith came back to Nielsen and said, hey, that's all right. You'll throw it better the next time.
Curtis Brown, number 38. Now in the backfield for the Oilers, along with Moriarty. And it's not there. Curtis Brown is down. Clinton Burrell for the Cleveland Browns, along with a lot of friends, including Clay Matthews, making the tackle.
This was a big play for Cleveland defense. Good, tough defense. No, he didn't make it.
So John James will be kicking to Dino Hall. David Carter will be snapping for the Oilers. High snap. Gets it off. Oh, fair catch. Hall does wait to the last moment to make the fair catch. And that's something else. The officials can call it on him, and that if he does get hit or not drop a penalty flag, punt of 30 yards, if he waits too late.
You got to give him enough notice.
Yeah, you do have to give him a little notice. Here's a program note. NBC's first camera tonight will highlight exclusive videotape pictures taken inside Grenada during the first 3 days of fighting. First camera has obtained never before shown pictures of the action. That's at 7 o'clock tonight here on NBC. Cleveland from their own 15-yard line, first down. Mike Pruitt, the ball carrier. We now have an additional report on that hand injury to Ozzie Newsome. If possible, they do not want him to play anymore.
Well, obviously, it must be a very severely jammed thumb to keep him out of the ball game. The leading receiver in the NFL, you know, it's got to be a serious injury to keep him out.
Second down, 6, 19-yard line. McDonald drops this one off to Pruitt. 22-yard line. There's 3. It'll be third down and 3. Greg Bingham making the tackle after Bob Hammond, Brian Socia made the tackle on the previous play. Houston 16, Cleveland 13. 9 minutes, 10 seconds left to go. Third quarter here at Cleveland Stadium. And also for Houston, Craig Hill, who had that severely strained back injury, will not be back in the ballgame. Third down 3, big play for the Browns offense. The Oilers can hold them here. They can come up with good field position following the kick. McDonald has pressure, rolls into a sack. He is dropped. That is the second sack of the ball game for the Oilers. Malcolm Taylor got this one. Brian Socia got the other one.
Let's take a look and see what Paul McDonald sees. He's trying to throw to his back out of the backfield. The linebackers are jamming him. Nobody to go to. Houston is the number 8 team against the pass in the National Football League. McDonald is seeing some of that toughness here today.
Carl Rocha set for the return. The kick of Jeff Gossett. Now Gossett kicking into the wind. Oh, and it's a terrible kick. He slices this one. And it will be around the 37-yard line in Cleveland territory. So once again, the Oilers have excellent field position. And when they have had that field position, they have put some points on the board. That punt covered 19 yards.
Kodak introduces the extraordinary Kodamatic Trim Print Instant Color Film. Unlike an ordinary instant print, the extraordinary trim print lets you lift off the image to capture the color just the way you like it. And now look how slim I am. Here I am. I slip into places the ordinary bulky instant picture doesn't fit.
He didn't tell you. Trim print is only for Kodamatic instant cameras. What?
You didn't tell him it's only from Kodak.
Extraordinary trim print.
You demand quality and durability. Plymouth builds it in. The 550 Plymouth Reliant K, the highest mileage 6-passenger car in America. Match it. And the lowest price. Match it, celebrity. 4-door, 2-door, even a wagon. Match it, tempo. The 550 Plymouth Reliant K, backed with a 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan. Match it if you can.
Earl Campbell on the sideline, still bothered by that groin thigh injury he suffered a week ago and not playing in the ball game today. But the Oilers lead it by 3, 16-13, and they start this series from the Cleveland 36-yard line. Renfro in motion. Larry Moriarty to the 35, so he gets only a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9. Chip Banks makes the tackle. Let's check the scoreboard. A lot of action in the NFL. Atlanta 24, New England nothing. Ooh, that game was supposed to be closer than that. Dallas and the Giants. Don't worry if you're a Dallas fan. They always do it. And Baltimore, Philadelphia. That's an interesting score. Baltimore chasing a wild card spot. The Eagles also. 2nd down and 9.
Reverse.
Herky Walls. And Herky got out of all kinds of trouble. Dixon he made the tackle. Gifford Nielsen was supposed to lay a block in the back. Wasn't one of the great blocks. Herky not only had to avoid the man he was trying to block, he had to avoid Gifford and everybody else.
Still got back, made a little, here we see it again, a little handoff to Moriarty. Ball's going the other way. Munchak with a big block, number 63. I'll tell you, Charlie, that's one man that is really highly thought of in his 2nd year. The left guard, Mike Munchak, for the Houston Oilers, really playing well in his 2nd year, well respected by all the defensive people around the league.
3rd down and 2 from the shotgun. Nielsen can run for it and pick up the 1st down. And it was closer than I thought. We were talking, Avon Riley, the linebacker of the Houston Oilers, came to the production meeting and had a chance to talk with him. He wanted us to tell his wife, Kim, hello. But he said that Munchak, from a technique standpoint, you just can't get rid of him. You can't shed him. He said he's really an outstanding offensive guy.
Exactly. A little blitz going on here. Gifford Nielsen, not known for his scrambling ability, gets out of the pocket, makes the 3 yards for the 1st down, and that's good enough. It's not pretty, but he made the 1st down.
At the 24-yard line of Cleveland. Blitz. Oh, he's in trouble. He's sacked. Chip Banks was coming from the outside along with Reggie Camp. That is the 2nd sack for the Browns. And they have the fewest in the NFL coming in the ballgame, only 11 on the year.
Take a look at it here. Either the rookie tight end, Dressel, or the rookie running back, Moriarty, was supposed to pick him up. That's one of the problems you have when you have so many rookies playing for you, that sometimes in the heat of the battle, they don't know all their assignments and don't check their linebackers before they can go out on their pass pattern.
Loss of 16. 2nd and 16, 30-yard line, Cleveland. Here's a blitz from the opposite side. This pass is complete. Tim Smith pulls it in, and he picks up 8, maybe 9 yards on the play. Rod Perry makes the tackle. This time it was Clay Matthews who was coming. So the Brown defense, we talked about this at the top of the show and in our advantage rating. They have not been aggressive. They're playing much more aggressive today.
They have been very aggressive today. Much more blitzes. Again, with Pigliano feeling that his corners can cover the wide receivers one-on-one.
Mark the ball at the 17-yard line, so it'll be 3rd down and 2. Curtis Brown is checked into the offensive set. So it was 2nd and 16. They picked up 13 on that last play. Curtis Brown, the new man in town for the Oilers, just activated for the ball game. Bob Golick with a tackle. And this could be close to the 1st down. I don't know if we'll have a measurement or not, but we could. And we will. Now let's go down to ground level. If you want to watch a ball game, this is the worst possible spot, but a good spot for television.
Good line charge. This is the way to go for it. If it's 3rd and 1, see a hole, lower your head, turn it up, and go for it. That was the way to go for it. The last time, he kind of danced a little bit and didn't make it.
And this time he makes it. 1st down, 14-yard line. First and 10 for Houston, Cleveland 14. Do you run or do you throw?
It's a good down to throw on, Charlie. You're inside the 15-yard line. Good time to look down the field. If not, have an outlet short somewhere.
Moriarty, the remaining back, and he's jumping around. Barely gets set in time. Oh! Almost intercepted by Clinton Burrell. Should have been intercepted by Burrell at the 4-yard line. And Burrell knows it, too. Oh, look at that. Tim Smith, intended receiver.
Moves Moriarty over to his left. All the flare control. Everybody's running to the left. Nielsen throws to the right. There's nobody there to help move linebackers and safeties around. The wide receiver was by himself, and that's what's going to happen. threw the ball right in the defensive back because there was nobody else for Burrell, number 49, to cover.
Second and 10, 14-yard line. Quick pass over the middle is complete as Mike Whitwell dropped McCluskey, the receiver, as soon as he caught the ball at about the 7-yard line. So it'll be third down and around 3 to go for the first down.
Again, Charlie, the Browns, a little blitz. Quarterback Nielsen reading it, letting it go very quickly. Whitwell was there to tackle it. The Browns are much more aggressive. Big third down and 4 situation for the Houston Oilers.
You saw Dallas, they're leading again. Detroit way out in front of Chicago. Third down 3. Report on Donnie Croft. He has an injured shoulder. That's the reason Moriarty has been in there so much recently. Into the corner of the end zone. Almost intercepted. So the Oilers dodging all kinds of defensive problems. Hanford Dixon almost picked this one off. And a field goal attempt will be upcoming. Mike Renfro, the intended receiver. Here's another look.
Let's see if this ball was deflected. It gets out there a little slowly. Yes, I think it was. Look, end over end. Now, Gifford can throw better passes than that. Ball was deflected. Here's a big field goal, Charlie. Possible chance for a fake field goal. If you ever see another shot of it, I don't know if that was deflected or if it just came off his hand bad, but didn't get there.
I liked your first call. I think it was deflected.
Yeah.
From the 14, an attempt at 24 yards. Curtis Weathers will be going high for the block for the Browns, number 55. He almost got to it, but he didn't. He just barely missed it. It is good from 24 yards away. Florian Kemp, his second field goal. The score is now Houston 19, Cleveland 13. We'll be back with a kickoff.
There's something special happening at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Fresh buttermilk biscuits made from scratch. Our chicken and biscuits a perfect match. Light and fluffy, they're made from scratch.
We start with real buttermilk, and we make them fresh all through the day. Fresh, like our chicken, because that's the Colonel's way.
Fresh buttermilk biscuits made from scratch. Our chicken and biscuits a perfect match. One more way, we do chicken right.
I'd sure like another Stroh's.
No way. Alex, 2 cold Stroh's. Where do you see this? Just open the refrigerator. Just open one bottle. Just open the other. Now he's pouring yours. Now he's pouring mine. Alex, you better be drinking your water.
From one beer lover to another Stroh's.
It's an NBC movie premiere. Valerie Perrine, Hill Street's Betty Thomas, and the A-Team's Dwight Schultz all play Love 'em and Leave 'em in the comedy smash When Your Lover Leaves, Monday.
Florian Kemp will be kicking off. Boyce Green and Dwight Walker are the deep backs for the Cleveland Browns. 3:50 is the time remaining in the third quarter. And it is the Houston Oilers out in front, 19-13. Boyce Green to the 20. And he returns to the 28-yard line. Now for an update, let's go to New York City, NFL 83.
Thank you, Charlie. In Philadelphia. You know, Carmichael already threw a touchdown pass. He stands 6'8". Now he catches one. Easy pickings on the far side. Philadelphia regains the lead early fourth quarter over Baltimore. Let's go back to Cleveland now.
Thank you, Lynn. If you're 6'8", a lot of things come easy. Cleveland now from their own 28-yard line, first down. Boyce Green. 4 yards to the 32, second down and 6. And here's an important score. Look at this. That is 4 field goals by Bill Capice, and it's 12-0. Third quarter. Now, Harry Holt is injured, and if he has to come out of the ball game, in reality, the Browns are out of tight ends. Willis Adams will be playing that position.
Well, we also got a report that Newsom would not play unless he had to. This may be a case where he may have to come in. He's buckling his chin strap right there.
Dr. John Bergfield, the Cleveland Clinic Hospital. Browns trainer Leo Murphy. Boy, there is a name in the annals of the National Football League. Leo has been with the team since 1950, the year that the Browns came into the National Football League, and they're working now with Harry Holt. Number 81, we'll go back to replay and you can pick up what happened.
Number 81, the right of your screen, right in front of Boy's screen.
And he goes down. No.
Right there, he got hit from behind, and that happens so often, Charlie. An offensive lineman or a tight end is blocking, and somebody comes in and falls on the back of their legs.
Well, didn't that happen to Dick Ambrose, the defensive line, the linebacker for the Browns, and one of his teammates rolled up the back of his leg? He's out for the year, yeah. So offensively, now the Browns they are limited as to what they can do because we see so much single back. Willis Adams now comes in, number 80, and he is a wide receiver, 6'2", 200 pounds. Played his collegiate ball in Houston. He will be the tight end. But he's not normally, he would have to be rated as a fourth tight end. So it limits what you can do or changes what you can do.
Well, Cleveland, too, has used so much double tight end where they play two tight ends in the regular offensive situations. Now, their top three offensive tight ends are out of the ball game. They may have to go with a wide receiver as a tight end.
And you see number 80, Willis Adams, as Harry Holt is being carried from the field of combat. Quick program note, next Saturday, NBC Sports World, the current Phoenix 150, Al Unser Jr., Mario Andretti battling. Also from Calgary, Alberta, the IFBB Women's World Bodybuilding Championship is next Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC Sports World. Second down and set. Paul McDonald, the quarterback. A flag is down. That was a one-handed sack by Jesse Baker. Did you see that? Jesse, number 75, 6'5", 270. He reached out with that right hand, just kind of backhanded him, and McDonald was stumbling all the way. Now there were flags down. And it's against Cleveland. Probably refuse it with the sack, is my guess.
We'll take another look at it. McDonald is not one of your stronger quarterbacks. He's a wiry strong. He's kind of thin. One of the things you have to do as a quarterback is move around in the pocket. He could have slid one way or the other. Deacon was having a big problem with Jesse Baker, but the quarterback has to slide around the pocket sometimes and find out where the least pressure is coming from.
The report on Harry Holt, it is an ankle and not a knee.
He had a knee problem coming into the game, didn't he?
Yeah, so it's kind of, you know, good news, bad news, but when you weigh it out, it comes out as bad news. Bad news. Third down and 14. Ball 20, 40-yard line. Green and Walker are the two setbacks. They'll be throwing in. McDonald's pass is complete, far side to Walker. It'll be close to the first down. Looks like about a yard shy. Needed 14, got 13. Maybe close enough for a measurement, though. Tim Joyner, the rookie from LSU, who is also not used to this cold weather. We were talking to him before the ball game. Keith Bostic, the second back there.
Good protection. Three wide receivers this time. Two backs. Throws the ball to an outlet receiver. Walker short. When you throw it this short, you got to run for the first down. He gets 7 or 8. It looks like he's going to be a little bit short. Have to punt the ball away. No, they may be going for it.
They gambled in the first quarter.
Charlie, this is tough to go for it on 4th and 1 when you don't have any tight ends. Normally, you use 2 or 3 tight ends in a short yardage situation. They don't have any help with it.
But you do have number 30, Boyce Green, and you have Johnny Davis to block for him. No, that's Mike Pruitt that's in there. And Pruitt has the first down. So Pruitt, with fresh legs, picks up the first down. Ozzie Newsome, the tight end who should not be in there because of the bad hand, was in the block.
He's got a heavily taped thumb, Charlie. Doug Deacon was the other tight end. Newsome is only playing in critical situations, short yardage. Good thrust, good drive by the Browns offensive line. That's twice on 4th and 1 in their own territory that were gone for it and made it.
42-yard line, first down, a pickup of 5 yards on the play. Here's Ozzie Newsome. Bad hand and all. Bobby Jones in motion. Whoops, then he reverses the motion. And a draw. Mike Pruitt. couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8. We might mark it for 3. Robert Abraham makes the tackle. Let's check the scoreboard. Dallas leading the Giants 24-20, 3rd quarter. Giants are making that closer. New Orleans having their problems with Buffalo. Buffalo is for real in the East for sure.
Yeah, they're coming off that loss last week to New England.
Detroit 31, Chicago 3. 2nd down and 8. Mike Pruitt. It's a couple of more, so it'll be 3rd down, still around 6. Avon Riley, number 53. Greg Bingham, number 54. Going for the tackle. Now a couple other scores. St. Louis over Minnesota in the 4th quarter. Boy, that's a big one. That is a big one. St. Louis is
surprising.
That is a surprise.
Minnesota got out of that dome and started playing in some outside weather. Maybe a little cool in St. Louis.
Mike Pruitt, 70 carries, 63 yards. 3rd down, 6, throwing situation. 4-man rush for the Oilers, and it is dropped. Bobby Jones, it would have been a tough catch. He didn't pull it in. It'll be 4th down, 6, and so the kicking team will come in.
The Oilers have had good close coverage all day, Charlie. I mentioned it before. McDonald is not having that great a day, but his receivers are not that wide open. Here he looks left the entire way, throws to the left side. Good coverage. The ball was a catchable ball. When it's tough, somebody's got to step forward and make the plays.
36 seconds left to go, 3rd quarter. 4th down, 6. Jeff Gossett will be kicking to Carl Roaches. He is kicking into the wind. If I recall, his last kick was good for, 19 yards? And he shanked it on. This one's a pretty good one. Fair catch. Taken at about the 22-yard line. So Houston has the ball, but they have only 29 seconds left in the 3rd with the wind from their back. That punt, 33 yards. Doug France. He has an injury to his left hand. Looks like he's carrying an extra 10 pounds there with the coverage that he has on.
They could call him for holding with his hands, could he?
Look at that. Houston from their own 23-yard line. Moriarty. Give him a couple of yards to the 25, so it'll be 2nd down and 8. And the countdown will probably move to the 3rd quarter. Bob Golick kicked his legs out from under him.
Charlie, you know, this game is up for grabs right now. We have 10 seconds to play. It's in the 3rd quarter. It's 19 to 16.
19-13.
19-13. You know, the good teams, the winning teams, find a way to win, and the losing teams will find a way to lose. One of these teams is going to win today.
And we'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Tonight, it's sink or swim time for Michael and Kit. In a swashbuckling search for forbidden treasure.
You can't be serious.
I don't believe it.
Knight Rider. Then it's a Superstar Reunion, Emmy Award-winning musical special. 2 blockbuster hours of Motown stars singing their biggest hits. Motown 25.
Tonight.
At last, there's a checking account that is also a high-yield interest account. It's the More account from Home State. Other checking accounts may give you up to 5.25% interest, but the More account gives you 8% with an effective annual yield of 8.45. And on deposits over $2,500, you will earn even higher yields with our insured money market account. All this with the convenience of the Al Card, too. Now you can get more for your checking at Home State Savings Bank.
The Big Cheese Pizza.
From Cassano.
Why not let us deliver a Big Cheese Pizza right to your door?
Free delivery.
Served so very generously with tangy pepperoni, sausage, tasty mushrooms, plump black olives, and fresh onions. We're just waiting for your call.
Big Cheese. Delivered.
Big Cheese. It's one heck of a pizza.
The Big Cheese and free delivery only from Cassano's.
Join the switch to 22 Alive News with Kevin Lance and Barbara Kerr at 6 o'clock.
Jerry Holt, they're taping that ankle. He had a knee problem, and now he has an ankle problem, and Houston has the ball.
Good thing about that, Charlie, is if they do that, it's probably not anything serious. They're trying to tape him up.
Houston leading going into the fourth quarter, 19-13. Is that a mistake? Has to be. There was a scramble, a roll left. I thought a missed handoff and a pass to avoid the loss.
No, that was a design play. It was designed to pull the linebackers one way, as we see Gifford Nielsen getting up slowly. It's a tough play to run to your left side, because if there's any penetration, quarterback is very vulnerable throwing to his left, and he gets knocked down pretty good. And we'll take a look at it. The guard pulls. It's a naked reverse is what it is. Nielsen running the other way, looking for the tight end. Just didn't have the execution up front to get the ball completed.
What goes through your mind when that kind of play comes in from the sideline?
That's a tough play going to your left. It's much easier rolling to your right if you're a right-handed quarterback.
Third down 8. Blitz. An inside handoff on a draw to Moriarty, and he ran right into the blitz led by Elvis Frank. A high snap off of a shotgun formation, inside handoff, and a blitz combines for a loss.
Now, snaps have been high all day. Obviously, the blocking wasn't there. Third down situation. 29, Hanford Nixon. I'll tell you, Charlie, the aggressiveness of the Browns have really shut off the Houston Oilers offense. Houston has scored with the help of their special teams and their defensive team, and really has not sustained a drive today.
Now, here comes a key play for the Cleveland Browns. They trail by 6, punting into the wind. Dino Hall with an opportunity to get the Browns good field position. Another high snap, he gets it up. Good kick, but watch it hang with the wind. There catches Stoffel. It is off as soon as the ball hits the ground. That'll be down at the 43-yard line. So Cleveland is now only 57 yards away from the end zone.
And they have the win. Fourth quarter, we talked about it at the start of the second half. Cleveland will have the win at their back in the fourth quarter. They still have to complete the passes, and McDonald is having a tough day.
And a look at the scoring by quarters. That last punt good for 35 yards. Cleveland has the ball. Their own 43-yard line. Lots of time. 13:56 left to go in the ball game. Play action. Lots of time. Tip. Incomplete. Second down and 10.
You know, Ozzie Newsome, who was McDonald was looking there at the start of it. The ball should have been completed, but Newsome still had his man beat. The problem for him was going to be catching it. He can still get open, but whether or not he can catch with that bad thumb remains to be seen.
Second down and 10. Johnny Davis is the man who tried to pull that one down and couldn't. Both backs in the block. It's a screen and a scramble and a pass. The boy screen. 49-yard line.
Boy Screen was the original intended receiver on the screen.
Had a flag down.
Robert Brazil smelled it out, was right there with him.
Dulles made the tackle, ineligible receiver downfield.
That's what happens when a quarterback, when the screen is busted and the quarterback scrambles, the offensive linemen go ahead and make their blocks because all the timing is gone to heck.
Well said.
Robert Jackson says, hey, that's not the timing we work on in practice.
You can, on a screen, you only allow yourself from a blocking standpoint only so much time, and then you have to go, right?
It's timing. It's all timing.
Ineligible receiver, illegally downfield on the pass, number 68, offense, second down again.
Once the back catches the ball on the screen, he will holler go to the lineman. But a lot of times in a noisy stadium, they'll never hear it. They're just counting out there. They've done it so many times in practice, and when they think it's the right time to go, they go.
Second down and 20. Ball at the 33-yard line. Cleveland in their own territory. Houston leading 19-13. Oilers are 0-8, trying to get their first win of the season. The Browns, their record is 4-4. Sweep right side. Walker, the ball carrier. And White is close to the 40-yard line, so he'll pick up 7. It'll be third down 13. Ted Thompson Steve Brown with the tackle. Report on Harry Holt that we saw him taping the ankle. He will not be back. They're going to check him out with an X-ray.
It's tough when you go into a ball game, and especially to rely on tight ends as much as the Browns do, to lose your one tight end, the rookie Tim Straka, to the hospital, and then Holt in the ball game, and also Newsom.
I was just watching out of the corner of my eye. Joe Daniels on the sideline. He's in the yellow sort of signaling the plays in, and then he wiped it out. And he signaled another play. He chased right in the middle of it. McDonald fires. Logan has it. Boy, he drilled it 42-yard line of Houston. Big play for the Browns, first down.
Charlie, that was the best throw McDonald has made all day. There aren't many cracks or seams down there in the Houston defense. They are playing very well defensively, and that ball had to be thrown before Logan ever got close to it to get it in. Let's take a look here and see if we can see in between three Houston Oilers.
First down, Houston 42-yard line.
Houston breaks to the outside. Logan goes back to the inside. Well-designed play.
Boy screen in the backfield. Look for him to run. And he does. And in trouble. And he'll lose a yard. Really tell us. If I can pick him out, then you know the defense can pick him out.
I'm wondering if you're reading the signals going in from the sideline.
No, it's just 24 years of experience.
Just a lot of practice.
And a lot of luck. Loss of a yard, second down and 11.
You know, Larry Weaver, the offensive coordinator of the Browns, was at, as we see Harry Holt going to the locker room, was at San Diego, and he brought that same type of offense to the Browns, but you can't run it without tight ends.
To Green, can't put it down. Third down, 11. Went up for it, one hand, good coverage. Bingham, the linebacker, was picking him up. It'll be third down and 11.
Just excellent coverage. You take a good look at McDonald. Looking right there. You can't complete passes if they're covered. Some of the passes Paul's throwing, he has no way of being completed. He's really throwing them away. He really should either take it down and dump it off to an outlet receiver or take off running. There's no way he's going to complete them. They got tight coverage.
Situation defense. These are the players that go out.
They all go out on passes.
And these are the ones that come in. Down in situation.
As a quarterback, I used to always try to keep track of who was going out and who was coming in. There's no way when you send that many people.
Remember the Buffalo game when they had 7 defensive backs in? You couldn't read anybody. Here's a blitz coming, and the pass is caught. And that is Ozzie Newsome with the bad jam thumb, and J.C. Wilson drops him immediately.
Newsome doing the best he can. Bad end. He can still run. He can still get open, but he can't catch very well.
Gain of 5.
We'll see the blitz. 51 Thompson blitzing. 25 Bostic trying to get in there. Good coverage on the play.
11 minutes left to go in the ball game. Jeff Gossett will be kicking.
You know, you talk about the substitutions. 6 guys go in on defensive passing situations. It's almost like a hockey game where 5 guys go over the boards, get
over the wall.
Game. They're the guys coming out.
Saw Carl Roaches. I don't think he's going to look for a return. This is a 30-second violation, delay of game. Gossett wanted a little more room to work with as much as anything else. He'd be kicking with the wind, and he wants to either go for the sideline or go high and drop it around the 10-yard line. So he needed some more real estate. And if he wants 5 yards more, of course, then he can do it again.
Game number 1-7, offense, fourth down.
Sam Ricigliano helping the official on the near sideline. Going for the sideline. Oh, he may have it. Did he get it? Yes. Oh, watch where this one is going to be marked. No, he's going to rule as a touchback. Did not get it. Did not get it. I thought he had it right in the corner, about 1 or 2 yard lines. But we have a terrible angle. Officials are right on top of it. 19-13, Houston leads. We'll be back.
Bring out your best.
I wasn't drafted till the 7th round. They don't even know my name.
The best.
Croder, huh?
It has a taste all its own. Enjoy it.
You demand quality and durability. Plymouth builds it in. The 550 Plymouth Turismo 2.2. Front-wheel drive Turismo 2.2. 0 to 50 in under 5.9 seconds. Match it, Mazda RX-7. 1984 Turismo 2.2. Match it for price, Camaro. The 550 Plymouth Turismo 2.2. Backed with a 5-year or 50,000-mile protection plan. Match it if you can.
Today's game is being brought to you by Chrysler Plymouth. Quality products from the new Chrysler technology. By Castrol Motor Oil engineered for today's smaller, higher revving engine. And by the Pabst Brewing Company, brewers of Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer. For the real taste of beer, Pabst is the place. And for the real taste of football, the 20-yard line is the place. The Oilers have the football. 10.5 minutes to go. They have the lead. Moriarty, the ball carrier, picks it about 3 to the 23. It'll be 2nd down and 7. If you caught that visual, the last win on the road for the Houston Oilers was September the 13th, 1981. It was here. They defeated the Browns 9-3 at Cleveland Stadium.
Some teams, Charlie, will play well against other teams, and especially within their own division. You get people beating them 15 times in a row. New England hasn't beaten Miami in the Orange Bowl in 15 years. There's a lot of things like that. This may be the one time that the Oilers can come back and win a ball game.
2nd and 7, Moriarty. At the 29-yard line. The 3rd down and still a yard to go. Keith Baldwin and Tom Cousineau make the tackle. 39 yards for Larry and 10 carries in the ball game. The Browns making a lot of substitution defensive changes, just as we saw the Oilers do it.
And it all started, Charlie, back when offenses started putting in 3 wide receivers or good receiving backs. The defense started putting in extra defensive backs and linebackers to cover them.
3rd down and 1. Not there. Curtis Brown will lose a yard. The surging defense of the Cleveland Browns. Big play for Cleveland, and it was the rookie from Pittsburgh, Dave Pazzulli.
Pazzulli, number 72, hits him with his helmet on his knee. Was on the ground for a little bit, may have been knocked loony a little bit, but he's up and running off the field. Big play for the Cleveland Browns.
4th down and 2.
Checking him, see if he's all right. He got kicked in the head, but he made the play.
I like that.
That's all they want, just results.
Make the play, make the play. That's all you care about. James DeKeck, Hall to return. Into the wind. Oh, good kick. Dino takes it at the 28-yard line. 35, changes his mind. Back to the 34, back to the 35, to the 37. He was at the 35 about 3 different times, going in 3 different directions. Avon Riley makes the tackle, 42 yards on the catch. 8 minutes, 4 seconds left to go in the ball game. Houston leads. We'll be back.
In these modern times, the person who goes to work may not have far to go. But at the Hat of the Month Club, the boss better keep moving. To keep the books, organize the files, write the letters, check out the inventory, find time to create, and still keep on top of things. Yet even a thriving business can reach a point of diminishing returns. A good time to learn about the IBM personal computer. With this tool for modern times, a person can quickly master such jobs as accounting or word processing. Even use the IBM personal computer to forecast growth. All helping the business person at home to wear many hats, while selling even more. And that can be a feather in anyone's cap. personal computer. Try one on at a store near you.
Al Unser Sr., Teo Bobby, and Mario Andretti battle for the kart driving championship in the final race of the season, the Kart Phoenix 150. Then Body Language will tell you when these bodies talk, you better listen. Only on NBC Sports World.
The Browns have been outscored in the fourth quarter, 54-29. I'll tell you something else. The Oilers have been outscored in the fourth quarter, too. Boykin. Here he goes. What a spark this young man gives to the Brown offense. Hardly pushed him out of that. Newsom with a block. But Boyce Breed is going to write his name in the story of this game once again, just as he did in Pittsburgh when he rushed for 137 yards in that car.
He's a big play man, Charlie. He gives you that breakaway speed. He can break it at any moment of the game. A little block and gets through the line of scrimmage. Big plays. You know, Mike Pruitt hasn't carried the ball much today. We've seen a lot of boys screen, and that's the reason right there. Cleveland's good field position.
Houston, 39-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Going deep, has the man in the clear. And it is the Oz himself, Ozzie Newsom. Bostic makes the tackle. Now Houston's defense, they've got to get it together or the Browns are going to capitalize on a missed extra point.
So true, Charlie. Chuck Studley, the head coach of the Oilers and the defensive coordinator, says we don't have a dominating defense. We have to make big plays offensively. They have not been able to do it. Ozzie Newsom has been getting open since he's been back in the ball game. He just can't catch the ball with his hands, but if he can throw it like this, and he gets this wide open, you don't have to. He can catch it with his arms and his body.
22 yards to the 17. Listen to the crowd here. They love their football at Cleveland. Boyce Breed. Diving around the corner, stopping the clock as he comes out of bounds. Bostic again. Bostic's everywhere on defense.
That was the same play that Green just ran 2 plays ago for a big gain. Larry Weaver, the offensive coordinator, signaling it down. Let's try it the other way. Maybe we can break him loose. Better defense that time for the Oilers.
DeLamalure with the lead block. Green, 18 carries, 69 yards. Rushing. 12-yard line. Joe Daniels in the yellow sweats and the dark glasses, he signals the plays there.
And he just told Sam, as Sam walked by, what the play was going to be. Sam said, what do you got?
Incomplete. Bostic had the coverage. Bobby Jones, the intended receiver. Willie Tullis turned around, tried to pick off a deflected interception.
Crossing pattern, which is always tough on man-to-man coverage, is what the Oilers were in. You'll see Jones going to the right of your screen. The ball is thrown right where it should be. Jones takes his eye off of it because of Tullis, number 20, was right there in his face. Drops the ball.
3rd down 5. Now, the margin...
ball was deflected, and this ball was tipped at the very end.
Tullis got it, didn't it?
Exactly.
The margin of the game is 6 points. There are field goals. We're in overtime. Boyce Breed fumbles, but it goes out of bounds. Cleveland will have the ball. Now they'll go for the field goal, but Ted Thompson made the defensive play. So now the Browns to pull within 3.
Charlie, the mark of a good offensive team is scoring inside the 20-yard line. McDonald's problem here, he looks all the way at Boyce Green, and when you look at the receiver and the linebacker is covering him, he'll see it and run right to him also. You got to be an accurate quarterback. You got to look somewhere else.
Can you get away with 2 fake field goals? They did a fake field goal touchdown pass to Doug Deacon. Now this one they kicked 30 yards out. It's good. That answers that question. And I was in a hurry to get the question in. It's 19-16. Cleveland pulls within 3. 7:23 left to go. We'll be back in a moment.
Imports with a purpose. Colt for 84. A great buy for the money. Imported for Dodge and Plymouth. Colt gives you front-wheel drive. Room for 5. money-saving mileage, and miles of just plain driving fun. So if you're thinking GLC, Civic, Sentra, or Tercel, think Colt too. And check out its really low sticker price. The 84 Colt, imported for Dodge and Plymouth, built by Mitsubishi to give you a phenomenal import value.
Now that's a purpose. This is the place for the real taste. Come on, play cool. Pabst is the place. There's just no doubt about it.
I think there's more flavor to it than other beers. I think Pabst is good beer.
Pabst is the place. Your good friends all around you for the real taste of beer. And all the good times you have here.
No, it's always going to taste good. That's what counts.
For the real taste of beer, Pabst is the place.
NFL 83 is coming at you with a special doubleheader Sunday. LA's Silver and Black Attack battle the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Miami Dolphins take on the tough San Francisco 49ers, plus other regional action only on NBC.
In case there's any question, I'm the one in the funny hat. But next to us, it's nervous time. There's Art Modell, and right behind him, the great Paul Warfield.
There's my man. I feel confident with my wide receivers from yesteryear, close by me. Paul's the director of player relations with the Cleveland Browns, handles job security, financial planning, doing a great job with the Cleveland Browns.
Rocha's on the return. Charles to the 20, to the 25, at the 26-yard line. Now, when you were playing with the Dolphins and Paul Warfield was playing with the Dolphins, you roomed together on the road. And did he really practice running routes in the hotel room?
Paul was a very precise, meticulous wide receiver. He was always working, even when he was all pro, on his patterns. And the night before a game, he'd have his pajamas on in the motel room. He'd be working on his steps. I'm going to run the post this way. He'd be working exactly, showing me how he's going to run. I always knew what he was going to do.
I got a question I've got to ask after this. First down, Houston from their own 27-yard line, leading by 3. Moriarty to the 31, gain of 4, second down 6. Eddie Johnson with the tackle. Did you have, I've got to ask, I've been thinking about this all day since you told me about this. Did you have a special pass route? I mean, did you say, go to the dresser and cut to the toilet, or something, you know, I'll throw a down and out to the sink?
That's bad, Charlie. That is bad.
The attendance, 66,955. Earl Campbell in attendance, but not playing today due to injury. 2nd and 6. Moriarty, flag is down. Moriarty is down. Franks leading the defensive charge, along with Clay Matthews. 6 minutes and 29 seconds left to go in the game. Oh, here comes Pittsburgh. 12-7, a touchdown pass to Capers. They have 8 minutes and 42 seconds left in that ball game.
Wouldn't that be something if Tampa Bay, who has not won a game yet this year, beats Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh?
Holding against the Oilers.
Holding, number 58, offense.
On the center, David Carter.
Now, this is a tough position for the quarterback, Charlie. It's 2nd and 15 or 16 yards. You've got 6 minutes to go in the game with a 3-minute lead. You've got to make a first down. You don't want to give the ball over to Cleveland with the win, but you don't want to turn it over either. You got to throw something conservative, but yet with an opportunity to make a big play.
3 points the difference. 19-16, Houston leaders. Nielsen fires, and it is incomplete at the 35. Very close to pass interference. Hanford Dixon and Mike Renfro collided.
Cleveland putting the pressure, blitzing Nielsen, one-on-one coverage, good coverage by Dixon. That's a good football play, Charlie. The Browns were coming, Cousineau, number 50, it's picked up pretty well. He's got plenty of time, throws the ball to the inside. Just good coverage.
Good coverage, you're right.
Good coverage.
The kind that Elvin Bethea always, as a linebacker, he'd pick him up. He's on injury reserve and at home watching the ball game. Oilers missing. He's one of the great. 3rd down, 16. High snap again on the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. Pump fake. He's caught from behind, down at the 23. It was 3rd down and 16. He could not have picked up that yardage. He had to try and just scramble and find somebody open. But then he got out in front of the line of scrimmage. Then he knew he couldn't make the throw then, or it'd have been a penalty. That's all he could do. Franks with the tackle.
He had no place to throw it, and we'll show you the reason why. The defensive secondary, the Cleveland Browns, looked for a white jersey with nobody around him.
They're hard to find without anybody around.
Plus the pressure in the pocket. The thing the Browns wanted to do was get in the pocket, force Nielsen out. He's not that good a runner. They've been successful doing that today.
Kicking into the wind. High snap again. High kick. It'll hang in the wind. Hall takes it at the 44. Gives ground back to the 42. He'll lose a couple of yards on that return. Mike Olson down very quickly, a 32-yard kick. Cleveland does have good field position. They trail by 3 with 5:16 left to go.
They got the win at their back. Charlie, the last time they went down, they got stalled inside the 15-yard line. Now they have to move it down again. McDonald will be moving them. Larry, we will be calling the plays against the tough Houston defense.
Now, in the last series, basically same position on the field. Boyce Green with a big play and a pass to Ozzie Newsome, the 2 big plays.
They've really done it with their running game. Boyce Green, McDonald has been up and down today. Let's see if they go back to Boyce Green.
Here's Boyce Green to the left side. 44-yard line, maybe the 40. Gain of a couple of his 2nd and 8. Brian Socia with the tackle. Why do you run Green to the left side when he was so successful in the last series going to the right?
Well, I think that was just one big play that he ran to the right. I think they feel like they can run both ways. The interesting thing to me is the game is on the line. Mike Pruitt, who's been their all-pro the last few years, is not in the ball game. They're going with one back, and that's Boyce Green.
I wonder if Pruitt, he's been bothered by bruised rib, has a rib jacket on. Almost intercepted. Newsome, in reality, became a defensive back and knocked it away from Ted Thompson. But I wonder if the bruised ribs aren't bothering Mike Pruitt.
That's a good point, Charlie, and they may be. But if I were Paul McDonald here, there's one guy I'd be looking out for, and that is Greg Bingham, number 54, because he is a big play man at that linebacker position. He and Thompson, Bingham coming over because he read the eyes. Thompson, they know they're going to try and get the ball to Newsome.
3rd down and 8. They got to throw, and let's watch number 82, Ozzie Newsome. It's number 89, Bobby Jones. Jones. Stolen from the Jets in a trade is what they say in Cleveland. J.C. Wilson with the tackle. Browns 3rd down and 8. First down.
You got to give Bill Davis, the player personnel director for the Cleveland Browns, a little credit for bringing Bobby Jones over. Tough catch in crowd. Almost a face mask. He lets go of it. First down for the Browns.
Gain of 15 yards. Houston 40-yard line. 3:55 and counting. Ricky Feature is in the ball game. Feature hasn't played that much. Here's Green. Feature's been out for the last 5 or 6 weeks. Thompson with the tackle.
Charlie, it'd be interesting to watch now the Houston defense, their linebackers, to see how they're going to try and stop this last drive of the Cleveland Browns, if this is the last drive. We have 3 minutes and 25 seconds. See if they try to blitz. If they go man-to-man in the secondary, it could open something for McDonald downfield.
2nd down and 3. Gain of 7 on the last play at the Houston 33. Boyce Green. He'll pick up the first down. Keith Bostic with the tackle. They'll mark it just inside the 26-yard line as we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
WKEF, Dayton 22.
Charlie Jones, Bob Greasy. 2:45 left to go. Houston leading by 3. Cleveland on the move. Does this sound like overtime? It does to me. Boyce Green.
The thing you have to do here, Charlie, you're thinking offensively for the Browns, McDonald, you got to make sure you come away with at least 3 points to tie the game. You're on the 20 2-yard line. You got to make sure you at least get the tie. But if you have an opportunity to win, you got to go for that too. So you got to call plays to win the ball game, but at least take a tie.
Atlanta defeating New England, as you saw, 24-13. That's the final. The reason for the whistle, 2 minutes. 2-minute warning will now be given to both benches. And it was kind of a race between the snap and the clock. So we have 2 minutes left in this ball game. It is Houston 19. It is Cleveland 16. So here comes another of those fantastic finishes.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes. 1981, quarterback Richard Todd, his injured ribs ache, has just trailed the Dolphins with time for one more drive. He hits Jerome Barkham. He nails Lamb Jones. Todd is hot and Don Shula knows it. Less than 20 seconds left. Bingo, the game winner to Barkham. Todd completes passes to 7 different receivers, and the Jets win 16-15.
Tamper-evident closures. For over 50 years, Alcoa closures like these have helped provide important protection in our hospitals, our supermarkets, and our drugstores. And with this closure, double tamper-evident protection is built in. You can see that it's unbroken in the store. You can hear it breaking at home. Alcoa closures. Look for them. Ask for them. Because today, you owe it to yourself. Alcoa can't wait.
Bending over. Perhaps a silent prayer at this point. That's Matt Barr.
Stretching those hamstrings.
A prayer wouldn't hurt, though.
It's a tough job for a kicker to stand on the sideline, get cold, and then be asked to go in and tie or win a football game. That's what they get paid for.
Bob Ham was taken up on the last play for the Oilers, on the Oilers. He has come out. Boy screen, 89 yards and 11 carries. McDonald. Green battles his way from the 26 where he caught it back to around the 23.
Charlie got a personal foul on Bostic, the young defensive back. The Houston Oilers we were talking about earlier being so aggressive. He was on a safety blitz. Got in, I think what they're going to call, let's see if we can see it right here. No 25, Bostic. See what he does. Hits him up around the head.
Can't hit above the shoulder.
Great camera work there. Yep. Great shot. That's a big play. You know what I said a little earlier, Charlie? Let's get the call here from Jerry Markwright.
Pushing the foul, lifting the passer, avoiding the head, number 25, defense, first down.
That is a correct call. That's a rule book call. You cannot in that situation. If he would have hit him with the shoulder pad or just bumped off him, it'd been all right. Can't go above the shoulder pads at the face.
We said early on in this broadcast that Bostic had one of his problems was being too aggressive, and I said earlier that the winning teams will find a way to win, and the losing teams will find a way to lose. The game is up for grabs. Somebody's got to win it, and somebody's going to lose it.
Mike Pruitt in the backfield. 9-yard line. From the 11 to the 9 following the penalty. So it'll be second down and 8. Ted Thompson with the tackle.
And those are typical rookie mistakes, Charlie. Aggressiveness is good. You have to control it. Bostic is going to be a great player in this league. He is very aggressive right now and does a lot of things well. But that thing right there certainly gave a lot of life to the Browns.
Now Houston has called a timeout. 1:38 left to go. We're going to stay right here. We have a couple of scores. One is a final. Baltimore coming from behind, defeating Philadelphia 22-21. That is a final. I tell you, Baltimore, what a surprise they are this year.
You know, and they're very similar to this Houston team. They had some great drafts in the last 2 years. Didn't win any games one of those years, and is coming back now, and is really, in a couple of years, this Houston team could be the same way.
Let's update another score with 5 minutes to go in that ball game between Tampa Bay and Pittsburgh. It's getting closer. Gary Anderson, a 42-yard field goal for the Steelers. They're now within 2.
Talking on the sideline, Paul McDonald was hearing the words, we want to make sure we have a tie. We can let the clock run down. We have the advantage. We have the ball. The least come out of this is with is 3. If you throw it, make sure you don't get it intercepted, incomplete, or a touchdown.
Also, time for us to thank John Betchko, Pete Albin, and Don Dravis all working with us here in the booth. Fun to be back in Cleveland. Been away for 2 or 3 years. Second down and 8. Boyce Green, and he will lose yardage. As Ted Thompson was there, the first man to get to it.
And they were blitzing, Charlie. All the linebackers were coming. You're probably going to see that again. The guy I'd be watching for is Bingham, 54. Thompson, 51, was in there first. There's no way they're going to just have time to sit back and throw. They're going to. This is going to. It's pressure defense for the Oilers and pressure offense for the Browns.
Third down 12, 13-yard line. Play of the game for the Browns if they want to win. Kick the field goal, go for a tie, look to overtime. Here it is. It is tipped. Good defensive play. Bostic is the man who made the defensive play, so he has he almost had the interception in addition, but he has regained what he
redeemed himself is what you're thinking about, and I'll agree with you. He could have won the game for the Houston Oilers. He could have won the game, as we see Bingham on a blitz, control blitz. The ball was thrown out in front. Bostic sees it coming, cuts in front. That is a fine player right there, Keith Bostic. He'll make a lot of plays in this league.
Well, 30 yards away for the tie, and it's there. And bar 4 of 4, 37, 36, 30, and 30, and it's 19-19. A lot of numbers. They all spell out T-I-E. 49 seconds left to go. We'll be back.
Laser XE, Chrysler's new turbo sports car, challenges Porsche 944. In high-speed cornering and acceleration, Porsche leads. Front-wheel drive Laser beats Porsche in the slalom, matches it in braking. But Laser XE has advanced electronics, and with Mark Cross leathers added, is still thousands less. Laser has a 5-year, 50,000-mile protection plan. Porsche doesn't. Chrysler Laser XE, because we knew the competition was good.
You know, at Midas, we've installed over 48 million mufflers, more than any other muffler chain. In fact, compare us to any of them, and you know what you'll find?
We've had more repeat customers than they've had customers.
We've done more foreign cars than they've done cars.
And with our Midas guarantee, we've installed more free mufflers than they've sold. When it comes to experience, no one can touch Midas.
Trust the Midas touch. 49 seconds of regulation time remaining. If we go into overtime, this will be the 14th overtime game of this young NFL season into the 9th week, and that's a new NFL record. Houston thinking possibly an onside kick.
I think that's a good thought. Since they're up there now, they'll kick it deep probably.
Roaches from the 1-yard line. Gets a key block. What a good cut from behind tackle, Willis Adams.
Charlie, the wind has played an important factor in this ball game, and as we said, Cleveland having the win in the 4th quarter has kicked 2 field goals. Roaches, if he could have gotten around the corner a little bit, may have had a chance. As it is, I think the Oilers will be perfectly happy just to sit on the ball and go into overtime.
43 seconds left. Cleveland has 3 timeouts. Houston has 2 in regulation play. From the 14-yard line. Larry Moriarty. To the 20. Second down 4. Reggie Camp with the tackle. Browns will take a timeout, stop the clock, 32 seconds. I would suspect they'll use them all.
Well, they have 3. They have 2 left now. They can stop the clock 2 more times. If the pass is incomplete or a penalty is called, that will stop the clock and help them at least get a punt. But you gotta be happy with your situation now. If you are, there's Keith Bostic, unhappy about roughing the quarterback, and then also unhappy about not being able to catch the interception that would have won the ball game for the Oilers.
That could have. Let's always qualify it, but it certainly would have set up the possibility, whereas now they're looking at the dock. Brazil talking to him.
Robert Brazil has really been a strong influencing factor since Alvin Bethea got hurt. I think Brazil has kind of taken over the defense. He's the old man. When I was playing Brazil, I can remember Brazil coming into the league and really being a dominating force, straightening everybody out. There's Chuck Studley, wondering, I'm sure, what would have been if Bostic would have caught that pass.
Second down, 20-yard line. Moriarty rolling for a yard, and that's about it. It'll be third down and 3. Cleveland will stop the clock at 1 timeout remaining, 27 seconds. If the Browns can hold this down, then they can force the punt and try a long field goal.
Either try a field goal, Charlie, or go for a block. I think with the distance that Matt Barr has, I think they would probably be better off going for a block, perhaps, but that remains to be seen. But Houston is not trying to run out the clock. They're obviously trying to make first downs. Their strength
they make one first down, there's overtime.
That's exactly right.
It is nervous time for the Houston Oilers sideline. Carrying the helmet in his left hand, you notice that it has the single bar. It's almost a giveaway of Florian Kemp, the kicker. They don't need a lot of protection. They just want to be able to see the ball. Here we go. Third down, 3. They fumble the snap. It is covered by Gifford Nielsen. They'll take the third time out. They, this time being the Browns. 22 seconds. Oh,
Charlie, let's take another look at that and see if we can tell the center. If the center goes to his right and the quarterback turns to his left, exactly what happens. The center, a lot of times, will try to duck down to get that block on the nose tackle. And when he does that, the ball doesn't get all the way back there. That was a heck of a time to have a fumble for the Houston Oilers.
20-yard line.
Now let's
Fourth
see.
down 4, and Dino Hall.
Let's see if they're going to go for the block, Charlie, or if they're going to go for a return. Dino will be standing at about his 50-yard line.
Let me throw out something. Let me mention something. Possibility, kicking into the wind. If Dino Hall signals for a fair catch, wherever he is, you get a free kick from that spot. That is, he can go for the field goal attempt from that spot, and the defense, or this time the Oilers, have to be 10 yards away. Okay?
They're going for the block.
Fair catch, 46-yard line. Now, if they want to take it, they can have a running shot at a 64-yard field goal. That'd be a record.
Can you have a running start?
You bet. Sure. It's a free
like
kick.
A kickoff?
Like a kickoff or like following a safety. Is it better? You could do it. 14 seconds. Why not?
But you can't put the ball on a tee. You'd have to put it on the ground with a running start.
With a holder and a running start, Houston has to be 10 yards away. Now, it would be 64 yards.
But a lot of times you'll see kickers with the wind.
With the wind.
Kick the ball off on a kickoff and kick it through the goal post.
That's right. Now, they can do it.
I don't know if Matt Barr
They're not going to.
But,
gosh, I wish they would have tried it. We scouted it up. Our crew had the information, and they don't do it. Okay, see what happens. Going deep. Adams knocked away. Oh! Willie Tullis saves the touchdown. Willis Adams, the intended receiver. Woo! Tullis just got there. Great play.
Good call, good play. You got one of your fastest wide receivers against Tullis. This is one-on-one. The ball's up for grabs. If your man is better than their corner, you win. Tullis makes a great play. Reaches in, right time. This is exciting. Houston, young defensive players making a lot of big plays.
8 seconds left to go in regulation. Far side, not down. Bostic again. Almost had another interception. He's got to work on his hands.
Well,
Bobby Jones intended receiver.
He may need to work on his hands, but at least he's in the right position.
Oh, yeah. He's everywhere. He's a good ball player. He's exciting to watch.
Yes.
One more play. 2 seconds. We're in overtime. 2 seconds left on the clock.
We have Bostic and Brown, Ham and Socha, 4 defensive rookies starting for the Houston Oilers. When those guys get a little experience, they're going to be tough.
Yeah. 28 of the 49 players for the Oilers on their squad are either first or second year men in the NFL. Houston lost in overtime last week. Incomplete. No flags. We're in overtime. 19-19. Now, of course, in overtime, we'll have a toss of a coin, which may be the most important call of all.
Last week, Charlie, I believe that, as you said, the Oilers were in overtime, lost the coin toss.
Never saw the ball in offense.
And never saw it and lost the ball game. Kansas City Chiefs.
They will have the toss at the center of the field. 3-minute intermission. And we will play till first score of any kind or 15 minutes.
We've got Earl Campbell out there for moral support.
No, he's going to call. This may be the big. You got the win factor here too, which is which also comes into play. You can tell by the smile on Earl's face. Houston won the toss.
Houston wins the toss, but that also means to kick a field goal, they're going to have to kick it into that win.
That's right. Cleveland takes the win. The score at the end of regulation is Houston 19 and Cleveland 19. We'll be back with overtime right after these messages from your local station.
Tonight, it's sink or swim time for Michael and Kit. In a swashbuckling search for forbidden treasure.
You can't be serious. I don't believe it.
Night Rider. Then it's the Superstar Reunion, Emmy Award-winning musical special. 2 blockbuster hours of Motown stars singing their biggest hits. Motown 25.
Tonight.
Special Sunday hours now at Don Kramer Lincoln Mercury, where it's 83 model clearance time. All 83s must be sold. Make your best deal today. That's at Don Kramer Lincoln Mercury.
I'm Sissy Lovett with Community Announcements. The South Dayton School is now accepting applications for enrollment of children with learning disabilities or a history of school difficulties. Call 293-3400 for details. The Montgomery County Parks and Recreations have a number of adult dancer-size classes available this winter. Call 225-4660 to find out details about registration. A fall rummage sale will be given at the Dayton chapter of Hadassah at 3489 West Siebenthaler Avenue on November 3rd, 4th, and 6th. Ring Ring the Banjo will be presented at Piqua High School on November 4th at 8 p.m. The Liberty United Methodist Church, 7840 Pemberton Drive, will hold their annual Harvest Home Festival on Saturday, November 5th at 4:30 p.m. There will be homemade ice cream, arts and crafts, and a flea market. The proceedings from Dayton 22 at your service.
Triple Trouble with the Roommates tomorrow on Dayton 22 at 5.
We're back at Cleveland Stadium. We'll be heading into overtime in just a moment. After regulation, it is 19-19. This is a new record in the NFL because this is the 14th game in overtime already this young season.
Why have there been so many overtimes?
I think because of the great improvement we've seen in field goal kickers. What do you think?
Well, I think it's the parity in the league. I think more teams know that if they can tie the score, they can then go into an overtime period and have a chance to win. Whereas before, like Cleveland, for instance, they may have tried to score going into the end zone. Now, they said, let's kick the field goal and make that for sure, and then maybe we can get the touchdown or the field goal in the overtime.
Well, Pittsburgh. What about Pittsburgh? Look at that.
Just handed this note that Frank Pollard scored on a 2-yard run with 31 seconds left in the ball game. What do they say? The winning teams find a way to win. Pittsburgh, the Dallases.
I heard that today, but that's true. But that is true.
I think you did.
All right, the Oilers are 0-2 in overtime this year. In their career, Houston overtime now, they're 2-4. Cleveland 6-3. Cleveland 6-3. I am not sure of this, but I believe that's 9. This is their 10th overtime game. That may lead overtime in the National Football League.
And they have a scoop.
Matt Barr kicking off to either Carl Roaches on the near side or Steve Brown on the far side. And it'll be Roaches from the goal line. To the 10, 15, dropped at the 15-yard line. Willis Adams was there.
That was a big play, Charlie, because that establishes the initial point of the drive. The ball is going to start from approximately the 15-yard line. If he would have run it out further with the wind blowing in their face, it would have been tougher. Now, if Cleveland can hold them and force them to punt into the wind, the coin toss will be an advantage of Cleveland because they have the wind and they'll have the ball in good field position.
Nielsen 9 of 23, 145 yards. Throw back to a screen. It's a good call. Tom Cousineau was there for the defense, and it was Chris Dressel, the tight end, that was lurking behind that screen on the far side. That's an interesting call.
It's a good call. It's a safe call. It's one that you wonder why they didn't call during the ball game. The quarterback sprints to the right side, tries to draw the linebackers. You should usually have another lineman out there besides Munchak. That's why it didn't work. There's nobody to block on Cousineau.
2nd down and 5. Moriarty. First down. An important first down for Houston because now if they're forced to kick, they will be at least have some decent field position to kick from. That's now final. Pittsburgh from behind. They were trailing 12-0. They beat Tampa Bay 17-12. That's a final. Tampa Bay is now 0-9.
Tampa Bay didn't get the monkey off their back. Houston's trying to do it here.
29-yard line. Gain of 9 on the last play. First down. Fake foot screen outside. Tim Smith. Only a couple of yards. 2nd down 8. Cousineau with the tackle.
Another wide receiver screen, Charlie. It's interesting to see the calls that are being made in this overtime period. It's like sudden death, sudden victory. If you turn the ball over, an interception, Cleveland's going to have in good shape. Throwing 2 screens, both on first down. The primary thing is don't turn it over.
Buffalo 27, New Orleans 21. That's a final. And Detroit beat Chicago 38-17. That's a final. 2nd and 8. Moriarty. 2 yards. 3rd down and 6. Reggie Kemp with the tackle. Cousineau's everywhere on that defense.
Cousineau has played an outstanding game today.
Now 3rd down 6. Big call offensively. Houston, if Houston has to kick, they need another first down because they'll be kicking into the wind. Not to give the Browns any kind of field position.
Well, you'd like to be able to control the destiny of the game, and if you can make a first down here, you got to have confidence that you can move it down and score eventually. Big play for Houston. Comes a blitz.
He's throwing it away, avoiding the loss. Pressure by the gambling Browns defense. Different defense than we've seen for the Browns.
We've talked about it all day long. How this Pittsburgh Steeler defense, the Raider defense is so aggressive. Here, he had a little outlet man. He couldn't throw it to Moriarty because there was a linebacker right there. or number 48, Johnson, in coverage, had to throw a ball away. But this has been out of character for the Browns, the first time they've been this aggressive this year on defense.
David started his snap. James with the kick. Dino Hall set for the return. Good snap. Not that good a kick. But he does get an Oiler row. And will be down at about the Cleveland 38-yard line. 33 yards on that kick into the wind. Cleveland from their own 38-yard line, first down. We have another final in. Dallas, of course, they do it. 38 to 20. They started from behind.
You promised us that, didn't you, Charlie?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I promised an overtime. And remember, we talked about it at halftime.
You sure did. Before then.
Cleveland from their own 38-yard line. With the win. Boyce Green. Green stays on his feet. That's great balance. Only a couple of yards. Ted Thompson will get the tackle at the 40-yard line.
Have we gotten
Second down 8.
Have we gotten an update on Pruitt? Why he's not in there? Is it was, we guessed that it was his ribs, but
we're guessing the bruised ribs, but we don't have that officially. We'll try and check that out.
All right, let's see what Houston does. The defensive, if they become aggressive like Cleveland did, sudden death.
McDonald, and he'll be about a yard short of the first down. The word from the Cleveland Brown bench is that basically they've been in a one-back offense, and Boyce Green's been doing the job. Ted Thompson with the tackle. Officials timeout. Thompson shaken up for the Oilers. It will be 3rd down and 1 at the Cleveland 47. Gain of 7 on the last play by Paul McDonald. Pruitt now comes into the offensive set.
Charlie, this is a situation where during the week in studying the films, if McDonald and the Cleveland Browns saw anything at all in the short yardage defense where they could throw the ball deep, some teams commit all their people in the short yardage defense. You'll see it here. If not, you'll see a running play to get the first down.
Fumble on the snap from center. McDonald recovers it. It'll be 4th down and 2.
And it was a pass, Charlie. It was a play-action pass. They must have seen something during the week to take advantage of it, because you pull all the defensive guys up, you can throw for a big gain. We'll see. We'll take a look, see what happens here. Ball is on the ground. It was hard to say. I don't think he ever got the ball. Again, the same problem with the center blocking a nose tackle. A lot of times tries to get into him a little bit too soon before the ball gets to him.
Jeff Gossett, number 7, will be kicking. And Carl Roaches is set for the return. Roaches, a game breaker. Good kick. You stay away from it. And it'll be down about the 10-yard line. So Houston again. Terrible field position going into the wind, and as we can tell from the flag above the scoreboard high to our right, the wind is really picking up from the open end of the stadium. That last punt, 46 yards, riding with the breeze. Houston from their own 9-yard line, first down. There it is. Boy, it is blowing now.
It is really blowing, and it's blowing right at, as you'll be able to see, right at the Houston Oilers. They have a long way to go. They don't have many big play people in their offense. Their wide receivers are good possession receivers. They don't have that blazing speed.
Donnie Kraft is the remaining back. Nielsen scrambles. He'll lose a yard. Elvis Franks makes the tackle. It'll be 2nd and 11. If he could have got, if and buts were candy and nuts, every day would be Christmas. But if he could have gotten away from Franks, he had a shot at picking up 7 or 8 yards on the play, maybe a first down.
Nielsen is not your very mobile quarterback. He was looking to throw deep here. Golick gets into the pocket, forces him out. This was the game plan. Franks brings him down. But you really need Earl Campbell in there. He's a big playman. He can break it. Houston really has no deep threat right now.
2nd and 11. Play action. He's in trouble. Scrambles out. Gets to the 11.
That was almost the ball game back there in the end zone.
Yes, sir, because a safety is a score. And that would have done it. Woo, Elvis Franks makes the tackle. Ever so close.
Again, good coverage. We'll take a look downfield with Nielsen. Timing is not there. 40 Kraft was not turned around when Nielsen was ready to throw the ball. It looked like Kraft was just kind of taking his time. Gifford says, hey, I need some help. Give me some help back here. I'm too close to my own end zone.
3rd down and 8. 11-yard line. They have to throw. Here come the Browns. Deep over the middle, overthrows, it's intercepted. Cleveland has the ball. Whitwell on the return. Whitwell to the 20.
Making a big play. Houston Oilers are 27th in the NFL in turnovers. That one right there may cost them another game.
Whitwell, the former wide receiver at Texas A&M. Cleveland at the Houston 20. 1st down. Green, the remaining back. Green, touchdown, Cleveland wins. Set it up with the interception. Green scores from 20 yards out, 107 yards and 14 carries and a touchdown for Boys Green.
Just straight blocking by the offensive line and a lot of determination by an 11th round draft choice, a rookie coming into this year. They didn't even think he was going to make the squad. Determination gets him in. Ball game.
8 minutes and 26 seconds. That is the time remaining in overtime.
Winning teams will find a way to win it. Losing teams will find a way to lose it.
Houston, 0-9. Cleveland, 5-4. So the chase continues for the Browns for a possible playoff position, and the chase continues for the Oilers to try and break a losing scheme now of 16 straight games.
Charlie, you got to give a lot of credit to the Oilers. They were in position the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks have been overtime games. They must be playing better. Kansas City they played well against. They came to Cleveland and played well against Cleveland. Still couldn't get it done. They'll be there pretty soon.
The final is 25-19, but you can headline it with these 2 words: